Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's On The Social. This is the show where you take control and send in questions for us to answer. Now last night I got to interview West Ham legend Tony COYI, and 24 hours later I get to be joined by West Ham Fan TV royalty in Graham. Graham, how are you doing, mate?
I'm very good, thanks, mate. Always a pleasure to come on here with you.
Well, you know, this was your baby before. This was your baby before I took it over, mate. And now we've come together. We've joined forces.
Can I just say to everyone though, if you haven't seen Ryan's interview with Tony COYI, go and check it out. It's brilliant.
Oh, thank you, mate. You didn't have to say that. And if you haven't seen Graham's interview with Tony COYI, go and watch Graham's interview with Tony COYI. It was brilliant as well. Graham spoke more about COYI's playing career and during the 86 season and that. And last night I got to speak to him about obviously the current affairs at West Ham, which was good. It was good to hear his thoughts and opinions on everything.
Yeah. And he's just a nice fella to sit down and talk with as well, you know.
100%, mate. But yeah, look, welcome to everyone in the chat on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope. What we'll do is we'll get some of your questions in a minute. So any questions you got, just keep them in your head for a little while. Wait until I give you the signal to send in the questions. But Graham, I've got the opening question for tonight, mate. And the opening question is, does David Moyes deserve a long-term deal?
In a word, yes. I think he does. He's done I mean, you know, he kept us up last season. And he's done an absolutely fantastic job this season. You know, he's got us. Not in our wildest dreams did we think we would be in this position with 5 games to go. Yeah, you know, and that's down to his hard work and the players as well. You know, but yeah, I'll get him signed up on a long-term deal as soon as possible. So, you know, hopefully this isn't a flash in the pan season. They give him a deal, and then he can build something. You know, like he did at Everton.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, mate. I mean, what I think Moyes has done and you got to bear in mind this is his first full season at West Ham, and he's done an unbelievable job. And for me, I mean, his contract sort of runs out in the summer, so they've got to tie him down now. But I'd be offering him I'd give him a 3-year deal if I'm honest, but I reckon they'll probably give him a 2-year deal. But yeah, he definitely deserves it. He's earned it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, mate, they shouldn't have got rid of him the first time round. But in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, and Tony COYI sort of alluded to that last night that, you know, they should have stuck with him first time round. But I suppose when you've got Pellegrini waved under your nose, you know, you've got the option there to bring in, I wouldn't say a world-class manager, but a top manager. But it just didn't work out. And Moyes has come back and he's done a fantastic job. So for me personally, 100%, I'd give him a new 3-year deal, let him build on what he's already built so far. And yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, he'll already, you know, he'd have already been looking at players that he wants for next season that he knows will fit into his system and his style of play, you know. So fingers crossed, the board sign him to a long-term deal, and he can bring those plans to fruition.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, let's have a look at some of the comments in the chat why it's building up, and then we'll start taking the questions. Reese is saying, I love Moyes. I never used to, but someone tell me why he don't effing play Ben Rama. Yeah, I can't get my head around it. Honestly, can't. I think Ben Rama, when he started, he's done really well. So you never know. Yeah. You know, he might come in these last 5 games. You know, he might get a bit more of a chance. He deserves it.
Yeah, I mean the thing. Hopefully, he might start against Burnley. You know, they're going to be well drilled, organised, tough to break down. He's the sort of player that can sort of unpick a defence. You know.
Yeah, Mick saying yes, he does 3-year contract at least, so he has a chance to build on this season, and I trust him. Got a lot of stick when we got him back. Yeah, I think that's the key there. You know, he's got to build on what he's done this season, because we can't just sort of we're having a decent season. It could be even better if we qualify for Europe. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's he definitely deserves a decent contract. You know, not a 1 year deal or two. I'd go 3 year deal all day long.
Yeah, definitely.
Robert saying, evening Ryan, evening Graham, Ian Robert, thank you for joining us, mate. John saying, I think GSB will not do a thing and he will go Celtic, and we'll end up with how Moyes should be given a contract. Yeah, that's it. You know, Celtic are looking for a new manager at the moment, and obviously he's got connections with Celtic. Look, it depends. I suppose it depends what happens, because if West Ham do somehow sneak into that top four, I can't see David Moyes leaving. Even if we get Europa League, I think David Moyes will stay. But Celtic is a massive job, and for a Glaswegian to sort of turn that down, that's a massive job offer if he gets the job offer.
Yeah. I mean, that job, you know, that don't come around too often to managers, does it?
Matt saying, I can't believe I missed your video with Tony COYI. Saw it this morning. Thank you, mate. Paul Mason saying, yes, big time. Needs to keep the core of the team and some new players, and definitely need to sign Jesse Lingard. Yeah, I think if Moisey stays, that'll be a big plus for Jesse Lingard signing as well. I think that'll be more of a pull for Lingard to sign, knowing that Moyes will be there.
I think that's probably the first name he's looking to get sorted in the summer before anything else.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's going to be top of the wish list, isn't he? He's you got to get that. I think the three deals I want, the three main deals I want to see this summer is Moyes, Declan Rice on a new long-term deal, and Jesse Lingard signed up on a permanent deal, 100%. Frankie saying, how can we not give Moyes a deal? Who is actually any better out there for West Ham at the moment? And that's a good point Frankie's made there. I think that Moyes deserves a new deal. And what you're looking at, I mean, a lot of people say about Eddie Howe. Now, Eddie had done a fantastic job at Bournemouth. He was comfortable at Bournemouth. He was settled. When he tried to leave him before and he went to Burnley a few years ago, it didn't work out for him, and he ended up going back to Burnley. So if no one's come knocking for him yet, so unless he's holding out for a big job, I don't know. But yeah, I think Eddie Howe was a funny one for me. He plays good football, but I don't know. David Moyes has definitely earned it.
Yeah, I mean, you find some managers just fit certain clubs. Like, you know, I mean, you go back to sort of early 90s, Mike Walker at Norwich. You know, I mean, he nearly won the league when, like, that first Premier League season. Norwich were challenging for the title.
Yeah,
you know, and the following season they beat Bayern Munich in the UEFA Cup. But then he went to Everton and it didn't happen for him. So I think some managers just suit certain, you know, clubs and managers suit each other.
Yeah, Ray saying, yes, Moyes has earned a long contract. Just look at our position in the Premier League. Without big money, he's bought well to make us play well. And he has. He's had limited funds. He's brought in, he's recruited well on and off the pitch. I think his backroom staff was probably one of his major signings, to be fair. But yeah, no, he definitely deserves. There's a lot of people, and it's interesting because there was probably a lot of people that wasn't for Moyes when he come back to the club. But it's good to see now that, you know, he's starting to win a lot of fans round.
Yeah, and I don't get all that. Oh, he plays boring football. I think we played some fantastic football this year.
Yeah, I've definitely enjoyed it, mate. Definitely. Yeah. But Roberto saying, hello, lads. In my opinion, he does, but the owners must back him up. We need at least 4 players that would make an instant impact. We have 2 goalkeepers on the bench. Come on, cheers from Brazil. First of all, Roberto, cheers from England, mate. Thank you for joining us tonight. But yeah, that is the main thing, is that the thing is, if Moyes has got the lure of Celtic, if they are after him, if Gold and Sullivan are not going to back him, he's going to go.
Yeah, he's going to want assurances, isn't he? He's not going to take the job, you know, having to do everything on a shoestring. I mean, he's not going to ask for like hundreds and hundreds of millions. He'll just ask that he's backed on the players he wants to sign.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. Right, so now that we've got through the opening question, I'll take a few comments. If you've got any questions for me and Graham, we're going to be here for about another half hour. Send them in now. We'll try to get through as many questions as we can. Try to keep them West Ham related if you can. But if not, if you want to have a little bit of a laugh and, yeah, just ask us anything, basically. But, yeah, let's... I just got... Do you know what? I forgot to share the video on our thing, on our Twitter. That's why I'm trying to do it now. Why he was talking.
Frantically tapping away.
Huh?
Frantically tapping away. I could see you tapping away.
Yeah. I'm trying to do two things at once here, but no, it's all done now, mate. All done.
You multitasking.
Yeah, let's have a look. Miss Hammerett, quick question on the update of the General's red card. Obviously, yeah, Balbuena's red card has been overturned, rightly so as well. I'm surprised it's taken this long to make that decision. I'm surprised they even made that decision in the first place. But
yeah, that's a great bit of news after the disappointment of the weekend.
Yeah, well, it's a massive bit of news because it adds now, because Dawson should be back at the weekend. You've now got Balbuena available. Should have Creswell and Masuaku back for the weekend. Declan Rice is close. He might not make it, but that's a massive boost for David Moyes.
Yeah, we're getting back to nearly a full squad, which we're going to need on this running.
Oh yeah, definitely. James Sid King saying, "What's your thoughts on top four boys? Realistically, great show, boys. Come on your hands."
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah. See, I've been saying for a few weeks that I think it might just in my heart, I'm saying, yeah, we'll do it, but sort of in my head, I said before, I think we'll slip up in games where we should pick up points, and the Newcastle one was a great example of that. And listen, people thinking we're going to go to Burnley on Monday night and it's going to be a walkover. Nah, I watched them the other day against Wolves. They turned up at Wolves and won 4-0. Chris Wood was, he was unreal that night. So they're going to be a handful on Monday night.
Yeah. I mean, with me, it was like yourself, in your heart, you're thinking, oh yeah, we could do it, but my head, the squad was too thin. It was more hope than expectation that we'll get it. But I think like you say, the Newcastle result really put us back, and then the defeat on to Chelsea was, I think that was it. Now I think we're probably looking at Europa if we get Europe now.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But they're saying that though, Chelsea got some tough games coming up.
Well, they've got a game tonight, ain't they? Semi-final of the Champions League against Real Madrid, and obviously they'll have the second leg and the FA Cup final squeezed in before the end of the season. So yeah, busy time for Chelsea. So looks like Leicester's result last night sort of cemented top four for them. So it's a battle for fourth place now. Gary Page is asking, would you swap Ben Rama and 20 million for Grealish?
I don't know. His shin pads, they annoy me.
I like Ben Rama, but for me that would be a no-brainer. I'll take Grealish all day long.
Yeah, he's a great player, but I just wonder would his attitude and that would he sort of butt heads with Moyes? Do you think?
Well, I wouldn't want to butt heads with David Moyes, but people thought that about Jesse Lingard, and look how he settled in.
Yeah. No, but I mean Grealish, I think he's a fantastic player. So yeah, I'd like to see him at ours.
Joel's asking, evening lads, who would be your number one target up front? Got to be Tammy Abraham for me. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe when I go on social media and I see that there's some West Ham fans that are turning their noses up at the prospect of us signing Tammy Abraham. It's crazy. For me, it'd be a perfect signing for West Ham.
I mean, it could be a similar sort of effect with like Lingard. It could revitalise his career because he's gone a little bit stale at Chelsea, and he's in and out of the squad. Been on the bench a fair bit, so it might be what he needs, and it's certainly what we need.
Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. Let's get a couple more questions in here. Matt Sam, what do you think of that Florentina Polish goalie we were linked with today? I literally only just see that story before we done this. Been so busy, so I haven't had a chance to really look at the West Ham news. But yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really know much about him. I can't give you a proper answer on that because I don't really know much. Do you know much about him, Gray? He looks like a nutter, to be fair.
Don't all goalkeepers.
Well, I don't know. Some of them.
They do say you got to be a bit nuts to play in goal.
Yeah, definitely, mate, definitely.
Do you reckon it'd be like the monk out the meme machine?
Roberto was asking, not West Ham related, but I'd like to know if you're all safe and well, and if you have had your shots of coronavirus vaccines. Any exceptions on fans returning to stadiums? First of all, yeah, I'm all well, mate. I'm feeling the best I felt for a very long time, to be honest. You, Gray?
I'm feeling good, mate. So back playing footy again. So getting my fitness back gradually. I hope Roberto's all well in Brazil.
Yeah, I mean, I've been back at the gym last week, and this week I was in there at 6 o'clock this morning. I'll be back in there tomorrow morning. I'm enjoying it. Getting back to a bit of routine. Yeah, I'm enjoying it, mate. But I haven't had my vaccine yet. I'm not old enough. I'm not in that category. I've got to wait another month or two, I think.
I can start from today on my age group, 42 and above.
And the rest
can start booking there, so I'll do that this week and get it sorted. So,
any exceptions on fans returning to stadiums? No, definitely not. I mean, even watching the Carabao Cup final the other day, it was refreshing and nice to see fans and hear natural fan voices back in the stadiums.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, opening day of the season, I doubt we'll be able to have full capacities, but even if they said you could have, could get into half capacity, that'd be brilliant. Like I said, I don't know how long it'll be before we can have full capacity, though.
Yeah, they're looking for the summertime, isn't they, to obviously do it with the Euros and hopefully get Wembley back to full capacity after, because the lockdown lifts, fingers crossed, on the 21st of June here. So, yeah, it'd be amazing, especially next season, get back to London Stadium and just seeing everyone and hearing the crowd again.
Hearing bubbles full blast.
Shiny G saying, do you think Burnley burn themselves out against Wolves, or will they still have some fire left for us? Yeah, no. When did they play? They played Sunday, didn't they? So, yeah, they'd have had the same similar sort of rest time as us.
And
but yeah,
we always a difficult game there as well.
Well, we always seem to struggle up there. We haven't got a great record up there, but yeah, no, it'd be a difficult game, and I'm looking forward to it. I think we'll get the result. I think we will. JC saying, evening, gents. Who starts, Dawson or Balbuena?
Oh, I don't know. It's a Dawson sort of game, isn't it? It's going to be, there's going to be a lot of balls into the box. Centre half's going to have to be strong. So yeah, Dawson he's old blood and thunder type centre half, and he'll stick his head in. So I think he may go with Dawson. I could be completely wrong, of course, but that would be my my thinking anyway.
Yeah. For me, I thought Balbuena had a decent game up until he got sent off. I thought he'd done all right. I like the general at the back. I think him and Ogbonna definitely play well together. But Dawson, I know Dawson's been a bit shaky over the last few weeks, but I don't know. Maybe him getting that sent off and missing a game might give him that little kick up the arse to get back to the performances he was giving us when he first broke into the team.
Yeah, I just think it's a Dawson type of game. He'll have to win it. There'll be a lot of headers to win.
Oh yeah, definitely. Moyes is our Alex Ferguson, definitely long term. We could become proper top four. What place could we potentially be next season? Cheers from Russian Hammers. First of all, thank you to the Russian Hammers for joining us tonight. Yeah, as we said at the beginning of the show, Gray, if Moyes has got to build on this season to make us be challenging in and around that top four every season now, because we can't take 2 steps backwards and next season be flirting with relegation or the bottom half again.
Yeah. I mean, going back to, you'll see this on Ryan's interview with Tony COYI, when he was sort of talking briefly about 86, we had a poor season either side of that because there wasn't the investment in the squad. No, even in 86, like we only bought 2 players like McAvenny and Ward, who were pretty unknown outside of their clubs. And this year it's similar sort of thing. It's a paper thin squad. Not really been added too much. So I'm just hoping it's not going to be history repeating itself next season where we don't back up a good season. We've done it in 2006 when we nearly won the cup.
Yeah.
Didn't back up a good season the following season. Then a couple of years later we're relegated. So if they back him, he can build on this, and we could possibly finish roundabout where the same position again. And that's what we need, a bit of consistency. Like 3 or 4 seasons, if we can sort of just stay in that top 8, then we can start to build, sort of pushing regularly for the top 4 rather than just having a one-off season.
Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. I definitely agree with that. Andy saying, hey, gents, have you done your season tickets yet? Do you know what? I tried to do my season ticket the other day, but the club cash thing weren't working. Every time I was putting my club cash in, it wasn't taking it at the end. So I'm going to try again next week. You, Gray, you done yours yet, mate?
No, not yet.
All right.
No, not yet. I've got
I thought he was going to give us a reason why, but yeah, that's it. Nah, fuck it, I ain't done it. Stephen saying, when we go back, will you still do Friday Night Pint? It's something I look forward to at the end of the week. Stephen, 100%, mate. It's one of my favourite shows. I love it. I look forward to it. Don't matter what sort of week I've had. As soon as it comes 4:30 on a Friday and I leave work, I get home, set up Friday Night Pint, and I wait for the boys to join me, and we'll sit back and just have a chat about West Ham and have a laugh and a debate and whatever. But it's definitely staying, mate. Do you enjoy it, Gray?
Oh, mate, yeah, really, really enjoy it. So my wife's just getting something out the wardrobe. I love it. So always a good laugh on a Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, mate. Joshua Sam, what are your thoughts on the goalkeeper situation, and do you rate Sam Johnston? Listen, Sam Johnston's a decent goalkeeper for West Brom. He's having a terrible season. Obviously, West Brom ain't doing great, but look, I like Fabianski. I'm a fan of Fabianski, but I think we need someone challenging him now. I don't think Randolph, no disrespect to Randolph, but I don't think he's much of a challenge for Fabianski. Will Trott get a chance? I doubt it.
Yeah, no, I'll say that Johnson. It's always difficult when you're playing for a team down the bottom. I mean, Rob. People forget the Great Escape season. Rob Green was a big part of that.
Yeah.
But because we're down the bottom, the goalkeepers never really get the recognition, do they?
Nah, and the thing is,
if they're down the bottom, like the keeper must be, terrible. But if they've got a leaky defence in front of them, there's not really a lot they can do.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Thing is with a goalkeeper as well is that if you make a mistake 9 times out of 10, it's in the back of the net. And as Fabianski proved the other week when he made that mistake. But look, I thought he had a good game against Chelsea, Fabianski. So,
made 3 really good saves.
Yeah, he's experienced enough and old enough to know that, dust your gloves off and just get on with it. Elliot's asking, how many points do you think we're realistically get, considering our record against Burnley isn't great. We haven't beat Brighton since they've come up. Everton is hard and West Brom needing points. And when you look at the running, on paper, it's probably one of the, if he was going for the Champions League, it's a perfect run-in because you think there's teams there that, that they are all beatable, don't get me wrong. But as you said then, we ain't got a great record against Burnley. We haven't beat Brighton since they've come up. There's 15 points available. I can see us getting 10. I can see us getting about 10 points.
Yeah, I think the one that really worries me is the Everton one because we never do particularly well against them. Every now and again we pull a result out.
Yeah, well, we beat them up there, didn't we? We beat them up there in season 1-0. So
yeah. But
we've got Southampton as well last game of the season. They'll be playing for nothing. They're safe and they're not going anywhere. I think it's 3 away and 2 at home. So I could see us. Yeah, I could see us maybe picking up about 10 points.
I can see us getting our first win against Brighton. I can see us picking a win up there.
Fingers crossed, my old pedigree chum. Fingers crossed. Chris is saying, I can't believe how much I'm looking forward to going back to the London Stadium. Who would have thought it? Yeah, look, whatever your thoughts on the London Stadium, we've all missed seeing our mates, going to the pub on a match day, having a normal match day routine, whatever you do on a match day. So I think we're all buzzing to get back next season. It's been a long time, that we haven't been there. So it's crazy to think that we haven't been there since, what was it, February 2019? And now we're in April 21.
Well, yeah. So I haven't seen news in Facebook. I mean, I see Scott on Sundays because we manage the footy team, but I haven't seen news for over a year now.
Nice, isn't it? Essex Hammer, what do you think of the new squared off stands? Should make for a better atmosphere. Come on, you Irons, New York Hammers. Do you know what? Obviously, we haven't been in the ground since they've squared them off, so we haven't seen what it looks like. But from the pictures, I think it actually looks a lot better. Whether they're going to be that much closer to the pitch, I don't know. But it's weird to think that we haven't been in there since they've actually. Well, no, wasn't the fans back for the Man United game? Yeah, we went back one game.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't personally seen them, so I think them fans went back for the one game. But hopefully it'll make a bit of a difference.
Yeah. So hopefully it will, be a bit closer to the pitch, better atmosphere for the players.
Yeah, let's see if we've got any more. What's this? Let's have a look at this one. Craig Sam, Ryan Graham, you not got a deep feeling that the Dildo brothers are not going to invest due to the fact we are up there with no striker. They're going to say, well, we didn't need it then, so why now? And that's a great point. I can totally understand that because we've punched above our weight with a thin squad this season, and maybe they might look and think, well, maybe we don't need to spend that much money because the players we've got now are good enough. But I think that if we don't reach the Champions League, a lot of people will look at it as we failed to recruit properly in January by not replacing Sebastian Haller, letting a striker go and not bringing one in. All right, you can argue that Jesse Lingard was brought in, but you could have brought in someone else, even if it was on loan, because it's proved now when Antonio's been injured that we're just lacking that up front.
Yeah, I'd like to say that's my worry is they don't back up a good season with a little bit of investment. And as I said earlier, I don't think Moyes is going to ask for hundreds and hundreds of millions. I think he sort of likes to identify sort of younger players, doesn't he, that are maybe not so expensive, but he knows it will fit into the system.
Yeah, I'm sure David Moyes is working on it, and you see him at every ground. He's a hard-working manager, David Moyes. He don't sit at home. If there's a game on, he's there watching. So, Matt Powell saying, I've got a question for you. Name the top 5 West Ham goalkeepers you've seen.
Phil Park's number one. Ludo. Rob Green. Fabianski. What about you? I'll try and think of a fifth one.
Mine would be I didn't see Phil Parks play, so I'd probably have the same. I'll probably chuck Shaka Islop in there as well.
Shaka, yeah, Shaka.
Big Shaq. I actually like David James when he was at West Ham as well. I'm not going to lie. So yeah, that's 5, isn't it? So
yeah. So what did I say? Phil Parks, Ludo, Rob Green, Shaka.
I can tell you the worst. I can tell you the worst I've seen. Roberto.
Oh, you didn't see Alan McKnight, did you?
I spent some time with Alan McKnight a couple of years ago, and let me tell you something now. That bloke is an absolute laugh after a few glasses of red wine. Gary Cray saying Ben Rama not good enough for West Ham. I think, Ryan, what do you think? I don't think he's been given the chances, really. I think when you look at, if you go back to that period when he was starting a few games, he was actually playing really well. It's just at the moment, he's getting 15 minutes there, 10 minutes there, and maybe if he gets a consistent run in the team, but there's a lot more to come from Ben Rama. That's all I'm going to say. I think this season, he ripped it up in the Championship. It just shows how difficult it is to step up to the Premier League from the Championship.
Yeah, like you say, it's difficult to influence games when you're only getting like 10, 15, 20 minutes here and there. But I think you can see it as well when he gets around the edge of the box. He's desperate for a goal, isn't he? I think once he gets that first goal.
Yeah, I'm just seeing in the chat, Gray. I think it's just been announced that Moyes has been nominated for Manager of the Year.
Oh yeah, so very well deserved.
Well, listen, you can't deny him. If he gets West Ham top 4, he has to be Manager of the Year. Has to be. How can you go from a team that's flirted, nearly got relegated last season, to taking them to a top 4 team in the space of a year?
Yeah.
So fair play to him. Good luck to him.
Yeah, no, very, very well deserved indeed.
He probably won't get it because Guardiola will probably get it or someone like that. But Gary saying, would you risk Rice for the Burnley game? If he's not 100%, then nah, definitely. Yeah. I'd save him for the Everton game, if I'm honest.
You don't want him breaking down and missing the last 4. We really need him in this running. So yeah, I'd rather.
I think even without Declan Rice, I think we've still got a good enough team to go to Burnley and get the points. So I'd definitely save Rice for the Everton game.
Yeah. I mean, he'll be desperate to play, Make no bones about that. He'll be desperate to play in that Burnley game, but no, don't risk him.
Nah. Roy saying, what do you think Abraham will cost, and what is the highest you'd pay for Lingard? I think Abraham will probably cost you in the region of what, 35?
Yeah, 30, 35.
Maybe. Lingard, I think, because he's only got a year left on his deal at United, I think we'll get him, not cheap, but I think you'll get him for about 20 to 25 million.
Yeah, because initially, but I'd heard sort of 15 mil initially, and then it was sort of around about 25, wasn't it? So, which I think will be a steal for him, to be honest.
Oh yeah, definitely, mate. Lingard, yeah, as I said, because he's got a year left on his deal, he sort of can force United to sell. So, and from what I'm hearing today, he's loving life in London, and he's settled, and he wants to move. So, Steve's asking, will Anderson get a chance next season?
I don't think so. No, he's not done anything in Portugal. And Moyes would have seen that. So no, I don't. I think he might move on in the summer.
Yeah. No, the thing is with Felipe Anderson, he hasn't done it at Porto, has he? As you said, and I think he'll be one of the first names that the board, and David Moyes will look to get rid of. I think Yarmolenko will be one. I think Lanzini will be one. I think that David Moyes is going to start to build a team of workers. And I just don't think, I mean, Lanzini's been a great player for West Ham, but since he's had that injury, he's never been the same player. And I wish him well, but Felipe Anderson, he come with that big price tag, didn't work out for him. Yarmolenko, just for me, I just don't think, let me word this right with Yarmolenko. I don't think he cares enough. I honestly don't. I don't think he cares enough. I think when he comes on the pitch sometimes, yes, he's given us a couple of glimpses, but I think sometimes he comes on and it looks like he don't even want to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, but he'll always be a bit of an hero for that last-minute winner against Chelsea last season.
Oh yeah, look, as I said, he has shown flashes of brilliance. And under Pellegrini, when we first signed him, he looked a really decent player. But injuries as well, he picks up a few injuries, and he seems to be out for a long time. So Lawrence Hughes is asking, was Steve Potts a decent player?
He was.
Stevie Potts is in my 1 to 11, which is up there. He's in my 1 to 11. Stevie Potts was a great player. And you know what? I actually got to play with Stevie Potts in the charity game the other year, which was unbelievable for me. Potts, he wasn't the tallest of players, but he was a great defender. Great defender.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was he was a fantastic player. Very short for a centre-half.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was about, what was he, 5'3", 5'4", something like that. So, and I used to see him play against defenders like were 6 foot, and he'd win the ball in the air, or he was just good on the floor. So
yeah, he's brilliant. Like great on the floor as well. Very, very cultured.
Oh, Chris is saying Moyes has just won the London Football Award Manager of the Year. It's all going well for Moyes tonight. So, yeah, fair play. That's unbelievable.
Well done, Mr. Moyes.
Yeah, I'm glad. I feel like doing a live award ceremony now for him. Nice.
Yeah, it's great news. Fantastic.
Yeah, fair play to him. And to be fair, yeah, I mean, what other London manager would get it this season? It can't be. Like, I know. The Chelsea manager's doing well, but he's only been there for a few games, 14, 15 games.
Yeah.
Lee Davis. Go on.
Oh, sorry. No, I was going to say, you know, we were saying about the manager of the year.
Yeah.
I think Brendan Rodgers deserves a nod as well. You know, he's got Leicester in the Champions League spot, FA Cup final. Yeah,
100%, mate. 100%. Moyes, Brendan Rodgers, Guardiola if he wins the Champions League. You know, it's good for us to be talking Moyes' name in that great company. Lee Davis saying, did you know Joe Cole did a Rabona against Derby? You don't get this, Gray, do you? Was you on Friday night playing?
Nah.
Oh, you don't get this.
No, Dan was on, wasn't he?
No, we basically had
too crowded.
We found some messages, and some bloke's been messaging us from 2017, asking us if we had a copy of Joe Cole doing a Rabona against Derby and whenever it was. And like we keep messaging him saying, "No, I think we've put him in contact with the club now, and I think they're taking over and looking for it." It's a crazy one. It's a crazy one, but. How long we got? Me and Graham are going to go for another 5 minutes. If you've got any last minute questions, send them in now. Happy Hammer saying, Ryan, you look like a kid in the candy shop interviewing COYI. Listen, I'm happy and honoured that I get a chance to sit there and talk to these players. I'll always have a smile on my face when I interview ex-players because, you know, I grew up watching them, and you know, as I said, for me, Tony COYI was a good one for me because he was the first player that gave me that experience of celebrating a goal at Upton Park because he was the first player I see score live. So yeah, listen, I always enjoy it.
He was the first player I met at my very first junior Hammers meeting.
Yeah, that's what I said to him last night. The day I was born, 10th of March 1984, we played Wolves and he scored that day. He was the first player I ever met live, like in person. So yeah, he's always got a little connection with Tony COYI.
And he's just great to listen to as well. So
Kai's asking, have you been watching the snooker? I haven't watched snooker for years.
Right,
I used to love the snooker. I used to actually go and watch it. I used to go and watch snooker at Wembley, in Croydon. I went to see Ronnie O'Sullivan versus Stephen Hendry. I went to see Ken Doherty versus Ronnie O'Sullivan. Who else did I see? I see Jimmy White play. I used to like the snooker. I used to like going back in the day, but yeah, it's not the same anymore.
I'd love to go to the Crucible once.
Oh yeah. That's in Sheffield, isn't it?
It's like the Wembley for snooker, isn't it?
Couple more questions. Sam Zini saying, "Who's your unsung hero this season?" Fornells for me. I agree.
Yeah, he doesn't get enough of a mention this season, but he's been goes about his business quietly and efficiently under the radar. But he's been fantastic.
Definitely, mate. Isle of Hammers. Once Noble will retire, will you be trying for an interview, Ryan? That would be amazing. Of course I will. I'm already trying to tap him up now, but the club won't let me. No, look, I'd love to have the opportunity to sit down and talk to Mark Noble about his career. There's a couple of players that I'd love to interview. Chris is saying, who else are you looking to interview? We'd love to see Parlow, Bonds, or Brooking. Parlow we already done, but the thing is, when Nicky interviewed Parlow, the interview was cut so short by Di Canio's team, and I don't even still to this day don't know why they done that, because we could have gone on for another 15, 20 minutes. So one day we will get him back on this channel, hopefully. But Bonds and Brooking is royalty. That's West Ham royalty. To get them on this channel would be, that would be a dream. That'd be a dream to have either of them or both at the same time. Let's be greedy.
I'd tell you, because I've been privileged enough to interview two of the 86 boys, Phil Parkes and Tony COYI. I'd love to interview more of the 86 squad if the opportunity arose. I'd love to.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's your era. There's a few players I'd like to interview. There's a lot of the players that I'd like to interview that sort of left the club in like someone like Defoe, Rio, Frank Lampard Jr., Michael Carrick, Glenn Johnson. I'd love to interview all them just to find out about their time at the club, like coming up through the youth and how they left the club. And let's have a look. Have we got any more? Someone was saying there about interview Frank Lampard Sr. We did actually interview Frank Lampard Sr. not last year, the year before. That's just search Frank Lampard Sr. on the channel, and you'll find it there. It was a good interview with an absolute West Ham legend. Harry Knackers is saying Razor would be good. We done Razor Ruddock as well. See, we done some of these interviews back in the day. But saying that though, the Ruddock video got quite a good view. I think it got nearly like 100,000 views. The great interview with Razor Ruddock, one of my favourites. What are you laughing at? Giggling away to yourself there.
No, I just read he said he was winding you up just as you went on, and your face.
Oh yeah. Mark saying Boogers or Repka might be an interesting interview. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, Thomas Repka would be a great interview. Yeah. I liked Repka. He was good, but he certainly gave away some dodgy penalties at times. Katie's saying I think Harry would be brilliant. I know he's a manager. Listen, Harry Redknapp would be a great interview, and I'd love to talk to him about his time at the club. Not so much in his playing days, but just the managing side, like when he first got into it. See if we can, get the truth about the Billy Bonds situation. And obviously, Redknapp for me, growing up in the era I did, was manager, and it was some great time supporting West Ham. And obviously, personal memories of Harry Redknapp was when he used to, let us come down the training ground and meet the players and take us inside. And he's just a top bloke. I've got a lot of time. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like Harry Redknapp, obviously because of the Billy Bond situation, but I think he's a decent bloke. I really do. I've got nothing bad to say about him, to be honest.
Yeah. Actually, met him a couple of times, haven't we, at various functions?
Yeah, I've met him a few times. Last time I met him was at the charity night a couple of years ago, just after he come out of the jungle. So, right, let's take two more questions, Gray. I'll go with this one. Lawrence Hughes, have you been to any matches against Millwall?
Great. Yes, I've been to one home, one away in 93.
Yeah, I've been to, obviously, when we went down to the Championship in 2003. That was my first time going away to Millwall when we lost 4-1, which wasn't a great experience. Could have been about 8-1 that day, honestly. Never known anything like it. And probably the night when we beat them in was it the Carling Cup at that time, when we beat them in extra time when Avon Hines scored? That was a great night. All the fans running on the pitch and cuddling the players. And you've got that image of, is it Frank Nouble, when that big bloke's just cuddling him, all tattooed up, and Nouble looks like he's like shitting himself. But, yeah, no. Right, let's.
I've also been to an Orient Millwall game as well, League Cup, many years ago.
Yeah, I think that's it, mate. I think that's it, mate, for the questions. But yeah, I enjoyed that, mate. Thank you so much for coming on again. You enjoyed yourself, mate?
I have, mate. Time's flown. I didn't realise we've been going for.
Yeah, I know. I literally just looked at the clock and thought, wow, we've gone overtime, extra time. But listen, thank you to everyone in the chat for getting involved tonight. With your comments, your questions. We really appreciate it. We'll be back next week. Might be a little bit later next week. Might be about 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'll see if I can slip it in for 7 o'clock. But yeah, it's been a great show. Graham,
obviously we'll do for it. Thank you, mate. That's a pleasure as always, and look forward to Friday Night Pint. Yeah,
we've got Friday Night Pint. What else we got this week? I think Nicky might have a musings coming out this week. I know the one he done last week, he filmed it all, and then I felt so sorry for him because he filmed it all, and then the Super League collapsed. So everything he spoke about in the musings just wasn't worth
out the window.
Up. But, yeah, as I said, I interviewed Tony COYI yesterday. So if you haven't watched that, go and watch it. It's it's actually, I'll put the link in the description below. But yeah, I think that's it, mate. Great. You got anything you want to say before we go, mate? One of your little speeches, your Churchill speeches.
So everyone, stay safe, look after yourselves, be nice to each other.
I love it when you say that. But yeah, thank you to everyone for watching. I'll see you on Friday Night Pint. Graham, one thing left to say, my friend.
Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.